12 million white-collar jobs. Gone. In 2026 alone. That's more people than live in Belgium, erased from payrolls while AI capital spending hit an all-time high. And here's what nobody wants to say out loud. The college degree, the thing your parents mortgaged the house for, is now the single riskiest financial bet a young American can make. I'm going to prove it with 23 years of data. First, understand the setup. Since 2000, tertiary education enrollment exploded across every developed economy. South Korea went from roughly 78% to nearly 100%. The US pushed past 88%. Australia, Canada, the UK all cranked the degree machine to maximum. Governments subsidized it, parents demanded it, employers required it. The pitch was simple. Get the degree, get the middle class. But nobody stopped to ask what happens when everyone has the credential. When a signal becomes universal, it stops being a signal. It becomes a tax. 4 years of your life, 6 figures of debt, for a piece of paper that 90% of your peers also hold. This wasn't a ladder. It was a treadmill, and the belt just snapped. Now, the obvious counter-argument: degrees still pay off. Graduates still earn more. Fine. Let's test it. Look at youth unemployment, the generation that did everything right, that got the degrees the system demanded. In Spain and Italy, youth unemployment sat above 25% for a decade. France hovered near 20%. Even Korea and the UK, countries that sold education as salvation, watched their under 25 unemployment climb while GDP grew. This is the crucial point. Young people were getting more educated and less employed at the same time. That's not a functioning labor market. That's a Ponzi scheme where the credential inflates faster than the jobs. The 2008 crisis was the first crack. AI in 2026 was the demolition. Here's why the collapse is so violent. Developed economies didn't just add services, they became services. In the US, UK, and France, services now generate roughly 70 to 80% of GDP. Manufacturing? Gutted. Agriculture? Rounding error. This means the entire economic engine of the rich world runs on white-collar work. Analysts, coders, marketers, paralegals, customer service, middle management. Every single one of those roles is now inside the AI blast radius. When you bet 75% of your GDP on knowledge work, and then a machine learns to do knowledge work for 2 cents an hour, you don't get disruption. You get a structural cliff. This is what makes 2026 different from every prior automation wave. The previous waves hit factories. This one hits the office. Where did the money go? Not to wages, not to workers. It went into the machine that replaces them. R&D spending as a share of GDP tells the story. Korea pushed past 4.9%, the highest on Earth. The US crossed 3.4%. Germany, Japan, and Israel all doubled down. This isn't neutral innovation. The bulk of this capital surge is AI, robotics, and automation infrastructure, the exact technologies that just vaporized 12 million desks. Corporations aren't confused about what they're buying. They're spending trillions specifically to reduce headcount, and the ROI is spectacular. For shareholders, not for the graduate holding a philosophy degree and $80,000 in loans. And here's the smoking gun, the one chart that ends the debate. Unemployment among workers with advanced degrees, masters, PhDs, professional certifications used to be trivially low. That was the whole promise. In 2000, most developed countries kept it under 3%. Now it's climbing everywhere. In parts of Europe, it's doubled. Advanced degree unemployment in Greece, Spain, and Italy passed 8%. Even in the US, it crept upward year after year. This is the death of the degree premium in real time. The premise of the last 40 years, that more school equals more safety, is now empirically false. The data killed it. AI just wrote the obituary. So here's the verdict. The college degree is not a ladder anymore. It's a lottery ticket sold at ladder prices. Enrollment exploded. Services swallowed the economy. Capital fled labor and armed the machines. And the most educated generation in human history is now watching AI do their homework, their spreadsheets, and their entire job description for free. 12 million white-collar jobs gone in 1 year isn't the crisis. It's the confirmation. The fuse has been burning since 2008. 2026 was just the detonation. If you're 18 years old right now and someone tells you the safe move is 4 years and $200,000 of debt for a generic degree, they are handing you a financial time bomb. The safe bet died. Anyone still selling it is selling you the past. If you want the economic story told with charts instead of vibes, subscribe. No opinions, no hedging, just the data and the argument the data actually makes. New video every week. And the next one is on which specific jobs the machines are coming for next.